Welcome, Rotarians. Adjust the microphone. I'm so glad you're here today. And it's good to see your smiling faces. And this is my first week to be at this location, and it looks great. So welcome to the 104-year-old, almost 105-year-old prestigious Rotary Club of Fayetteville. And let's say the four-way test of what we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Bringing our music is auto lowered. You can have a seat.
Well, I don't know if you have. I'm not sure I'm coming through or not. Anyway, our patriotic song, "God Bless America." God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my own sweet home. God bless America, my own sweet home. All right, don't go too far away.
Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Otto. The wonderful world.
It's a wonderful world.
Have a seat.
Backdrop on this song is a favorite of mine, Louis Armstrong. 1967, and he was kind of commissioned to do a song. The irony was it was to try to give a soothing song to the nature of what was going on in 1967 with all of these civil rights and Vietnam and all that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful song. Again, can this coming through at all? I'm not sure it is. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see a little for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, thousands of white, bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky. Also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I babies cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I will ever know. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Thank you, Otto. Our very own Johnny Cash right here in the club. Harrison Pittman, are you? Yeah, of course you're here. Oh, that was more claps than normal. So it's looking good. How is everybody?
Thanks, how are you? Fine.
Doing great.
Uh, I'm going to throw in a couple quick announcements here just because I got the microphone and I get to do that. The newsletter. It comes out of a MailChimp versus DACDB now. If you've seen it, you notice it looks a lot different, more pictures, a little more stylistic, etc. If you're not getting it, tell me. I know you got a filter problem with the university. We're going to get it figured out. Uh, you're not getting either. Okay. But tell me afterwards so I can write it down. But it's going to your spam folder where it's going because everybody's in there. So we can get that sorted out. Second thing, this is also quite important. There is a possibility that we could have all of our meetings here going forward in this location. There's some feedback. I was going to say, give feedback. A couple of key things to know about. We do pay weekly rental space for the library. We would not have that here. Meals basically the same cost at either location. But anything good, bad, indifferent, whatever, please weigh in on that. All right, y'all know they're some of the worst jokes of all time. And I learned Coach Deifel is with us today. She's from the Fresno area. These jokes are from the Fresno area. They're from Ryan Jacobson, County Farm Bureau, Fresno County, #1 ag county in the United States. And he sends this horrible, the newsletter is actually quite informative. But I always know it's Thursday because I get it on a Wednesday. So buckle up. Buckle up. If January threw a parade, would February march?
Oh gosh.
No, but April, May.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you, Larry. He says the best one yet. What bites but doesn't have teeth? Frost. Frost. By the way, when Dana DeRee mentioned last week that he was going to the American Farm Bureau annual convention, it met in Anaheim, California this year. I did my best to get Ryan and Dana into a picture together out there, and it didn't work out. You almost got to see the evil of Ryan Jacobson on the screen. All right, last one here. Why did the bear keep getting fired? Sleeping on the job. You're on the right track. He always disappeared in the winter. All right, and then I did do a little chat GPT here. I asked it basically something like, could you write a haiku that honors John Threet's 36 years in the county courthouse? 36 long years, justice walked the courthouse halls. John Threet, steady flame. And then I said, why was John Threet's career so much better than Chuck Culver's career? Write a haiku about that. And it said, 36 long years, impact outshone 40 years, purpose beat tenure. Dang. Chap, I think they know your name now, Chuck. Please join me in your tradition as I pray in mine. As we gather here today as members of Rotary, we pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and upon those things which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Amen.
Thank you, Harrison. What else?
I forgot to do visiting Rotarians, members or guests. I think Emily's our only Rotarian with a visiting guest, and I think you can introduce Coach Deifel when she comes up to speak. Dang, I'm a moron. All right. Emily, would you please introduce your guest and not rely on me to decide which one it might be?
Thanks, Harrison. Today, my guest is Erica Robbie, who is one of my very good friends. She is a project manager at Crawford Electric Supply, and she's awesome. So, welcome her, please.
Sorry about that. Now we can.
All right. Thank you, Harrison. I think. No, I'm very grateful for Harrison. He does basically everything, and this club would be nowhere close to what it is without him. All right. the cups, change cups, whatever you want to call them. In the newsletter, Harrison called them change cups, which is a throwback. Inflation struck. They're now called buck cups, and it goes to the Salvation Army. So I've jabbered on long enough for you to get your phone out and take a picture of that QR code and generous. Thank you. Okay. Harrison gave some announcements. I want to give Emily a chance to talk about our other club. Do you want to talk about the club? What's going on?
Sure.
Catch.
You may want to microphone for people.
Thank you. Reminder, every first and third Tuesday of the month, we have the nightclub, which, thank you, which is not a separate part of the Rotary Club of Fayetteville.
Move 3 steps to the left.
Switch your left to
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, oops, never mind.
just keep standing dry.
We, anyway, on the first and third Tuesday of every month, we have the club, which is not a separate club. It's part of our club here at the Rotary Club of Fayetteville. It serves as an alternative time. So if you need to do a makeup meeting, you can come. Or if you just want to be involved in a service opportunity, you can come. This meeting was last Tuesday. We got to tour Theater Squared, and it was wonderful. Next Tuesday, we have our second meeting of the month, and we're going to be meeting at the Collier and Associates building, and we are going to be doing a service project for Senior Support in Action. We're going to be, it's called a paper products packing party, I believe. But what it basically is you bring toilet paper or Tide Pods or other products like that, and we're going to be breaking them up into smaller groups so that they can give them to the beneficiaries of the Senior Support and Action Program. So we would love to have all of you come. Collier and Associates building from 6 to 7, and please bring a paper product if you come. And if you can't make it, but you want to still donate a paper product, you can contact me, bring it to me, or Jimmy or someone else. So thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Yeah, you can just put that down. Man, what a good thing. We're doing community service through this club and that club, and people are excited, and I'm excited. So thank you so much. Who wants to talk about the club's 105th birthday party? Harrison, do you have anything to say about that?
Just, we're gonna have one. We officially turn 105 on March. We're looking for any ideas or input that anybody wants to give, but in the coming days, weeks, some shorter, longer time, we're gonna start making decisions on where it's gonna be, what it's gonna look like, that kind of.
He said more information to come. Okay.
And input from other people, but that's to be the key thing.
Okay. Thank you, Harrison. Battle for the paddle. Mark your calendars. Hey, I've got a question for you. So with my calendar, I got a fairly busy calendar, and so does Emily, she told me. Who wants a calendar invite sent directly to their email that just puts events like Rotary events on your calendar? Okay, well, that's nobody. No, oh, some people do. Okay, you don't have to accept it, but I'll start doing that. I'll start sending out calendar invites for things that are coming up for Rotary. I'll send them to you as optional. You can decline them to keep them off your calendar if that's not what you want. So if you have any questions about that, or you just don't want me to do that, let me know. And but it's helpful for some people to have that stuff come straight to your email inbox and land on your calendar automatically. So I wanted to share that capability with you. All right. Any other announcements before I move on? Okay. All right. Oh, Emily, I'm going to give you the microphone back again to introduce our guest speaker.
So we use this.
You can go wherever you want.
It's the last time you'll hear from me today, so sorry. I am honored to introduce our speaker to you today. Her name is Coach Courtney Deifel. She is the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks softball team. She has been their head coach for, I believe this will be your 11th season, which is crazy. During her time in Fayetteville, she led the team to 2 SEC regular season championships, 1 SEC tournament crown, and 8 NCAA tournament appearances, which includes 8 consecutive berths from 2017 to 2025. She has led the program to its NCAA Super Regional appearances in 2018, 2021, 2022, and 2025. And since her first season in 2016, the Razorbacks have been ranked 121 times in the NFCA Coaches Poll after previously only being ranked once in program history. She is the program's all-time wins leader and enters this season with 359 career wins at Arkansas. Along with that incredible coaching career, she had an awesome playing career herself. She was the starting catcher for the University of California from 2000 to 03, and she led her team to 4 Women's College World Series appearances, including a national championship win in 2002. She also played professionally in both the U.S. and Japan. And on a more personal note, I worked as a part of the team for 4 years under Coach Deifel. She is one of my personal heroes. And I have to tell you, too, it's what she's done with Arkansas is remarkable. And before I came to Arkansas, I worked for the Auburn softball team for 4 years. And actually, I was a college student at Auburn and worked for the team. And my senior year, we played Arkansas on their senior day. And not only did she and her program take the time to recognize me as an opposing team's manager, which meant a lot to me, but also it's crazy to me to look back on that was what I think her second year there, maybe. And it was a slim crowd, you could say. And then now compared with the lines that wrap around the whole field when people are waiting to get in, it is remarkable what she's done. And I'm really grateful that she came to speak with us today. So please give a warm welcome to Coach Deifel.
Oh, hello, everybody. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. Emily, which we call her Scooter. So I've been like checking myself all day. I'm like, okay, Emily, Emily, Emily. I don't know if you guys know. I would imagine you know in a very short time what a rock star Emily is. But when she came to work with our program, she was in law school, and I'm not a lawyer. I didn't go to law school, but what everyone says about law school is the first year they try to break you. They try to break you to see who is really made for it. And on top of the first year of law school, she worked with our program. And so to be able to tackle first year of law school and to give her whole heart to our program, she's remarkable and she's a rock star. So when she asked me to do this, I was like, sure. I'll do it. Tell me where to be. Tell me, what to do. And I'm just really excited to be here and to share with you guys. Listening to the intro. Also, Harrison assured me that you guys would ask questions. So, right? You guaranteed that? Okay. Okay, promised. And so I hope that you guys have a good amount of questions for me. I'd love to do that. That's my best form of speaking, is just to converse and make sure I answer anything that you guys have. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. The one thing I want to hit in Emily's introduction of just what the program and the fan base looked like early. I am going into year 11, and I knew that coming here, if we built a product that this incredible fan base would be proud of, they'd show up for it. And they have done that and then some. And so to see how this community and this fan base has embraced our softball program is incredible. It's beyond what I could have ever thought was possible. I just knew that we had incredible people here, incredible fans across the state, and they've continued to show up for our program. So It's something that's one of my proudest things of what we built here is the community support, the fan support, and an environment that is unmatched in college softball. So, on top of that, the thing not in my intro is I have two young boys. I'm married. My husband is a teacher in Springdale. He teaches at J.O. Kelly. And we have two young boys who are born in Arkansas. They're Arkansans. So a 10-year-old in fourth grade at Vandergrift. This is like my neighborhood. This is my neck of the woods. And so Vandergrift, right across crossover. My oldest goes there. He's 10 in the fourth grade, and then my youngest is 8, and he attends the new school. And so they you learn early in daycare and preschool how proud everyone is to be an Arkansan. They learned the fight song before I did. And they, it's who you are here. And we're just really proud to be here and just love what we're building here. So as far as the season coming up, we've had a good run here. I think this year will continue to make our fans really proud. They make me proud on a daily basis. And I have a pretty high expectation. So for them to show up the way they do, for them to continue to push this program forward, I'm just really proud to be their coach. This year we have all the pieces. I think that the biggest thing going from last year to this year is we didn't lose anybody in the transfer portal, which is huge for this landscape of college athletics. Thank you. Uh, we're really proud of our culture. We've worked really hard to build it. We work really hard to protect it, and our players love their experience here. They love being a student athlete at the University of Arkansas. They love the fan base. They love the support. We have a really special thing, and I will never take it for granted that they continue to choose us. So this year is going to be really special. We got everybody back. We have our entire pitching staff back, anchored by our left-handed senior ace now, Robin Heron. I'm biased, but she should have been an All-American last year. She probably was the first or second pitcher out. And she is just, her goal is to be an All-American. And she deserves to be. We have 5 returning pitchers. We had 2 freshman pitchers, one from the state of Wisconsin and one from Arkansas, Warren, Arkansas. And they both are top 20 ranked in their class. So really talented and add a good bit of depth in the circle, which is where the game starts for any baseball or softball fans. If you don't have strong pitching, it's going to be really hard to win. This is probably the strongest pitching staff that we've had. We also return an All-American third baseman, Ella McDowell. She's a sophomore. Have you guys been to a softball game at Bogle? What are you waiting on? If you have and you went last year, Ella McDowell is, just a talent. Beyond that, she's someone that you just gravitate to. Her passion, her personality for the game, her lighthearted, fun nature. She's just someone that you want to watch. She's someone you want to play with. She's going to hold down third base. Last year we had the #1 defense in college softball. We return everybody but 2. And we graduated our left fielder and our first baseman, who was the National Player of the Year last year, Bree Ellis. We have a strong first baseman that we transferred in from Cal. And then we added Dakota Kennedy from Arizona, who's a 2-time All-American and Gold Glove winner. So if there's a chance to upgrade your defense, I think we did. So that's a quick snippet. I think we're going to have a top 5 offense in the country. I think we're going to have a top 5 pitching staff in the country. I think we're going to have the top defense in the country. We have a really challenging non-conference slate. We open up in Coastal Carolina, Myrtle Beach, going to the beach for the first weekend. Then we go to Texas State, and then we host 2 tournaments. So your first chance to see the Razorback softball team that I know you will love if you give us a chance is the 3rd weekend of February. So hope for good weather and come out to Bogle. Do you guys have any questions? I'd love to answer any questions that you have. Yes.
Do the athletes on your team get money? Are they
We're going straight at it. Okay. I was like, they're gonna hit me with the hard questions, right? Do our athletes?
You get to work with.
I would love to, but I think there is a big misconception, I think, in college athletics right now of NIL and rev share. So we just transitioned this past year into a rev share world where the long story short, it's on the backside of a lawsuit where an athlete was saying that the schools were getting more revenue off of the athletes, but in reality, any revenue that's brought in typically from football or basketball helps pay for the experience of all the other student athletes. And so it's a tough ask, the rev share piece, because there aren't many athletic departments that have $20 extra million to pass out for some athletes. Ours we don't have a pot of money softball. We have a little we can work with. But until this past summer, we had never even getting Brie Ellis from Auburn over to Arkansas, who she is one of the best talents. We had never recruited with any NIL or anything like that. So that's something that as we change, my job continues to change. I wear few more hats than I signed on for. And so now it's just trying to put things in motion to create some of the NIL opportunities that are pretty prevalent in college athletics, not necessarily on the women's side, which don't get me started. I'm not gonna, but the women deserve it. Our women's sports at Arkansas are really strong. Women's sports in general are showing time and time again that they belong, should have a seat at the table, and they deserve that. So we will continue to make those opportunities, and they hopefully are trending that way. But do we have a huge pot of money? No, we don't. We don't. But we have players that get some opportunities. Yes.
Do they get full scholarships?
So up until this no, yes and no. Up until this change, softball was known as an equivalency sport. So we have head count sports in the NCAA, and we have equivalency sports. Up until this past year, with everything changing, the head count sports would be your football, basketballs, volleyball, I believe gymnastics. Equivalency sports are where you get your scholarships and you kind of have to chop them up percentage wise to fill your team. So equivalency sports were us, baseball, golf, soccer. And so up until this past change, we would have a roster of about 24, and we would be given 12 scholarships. And so we would have to kind of chop those up to cover what you need to get the strongest team together. Now we were given a few more scholarships. Our cap is 25. We don't have 25 fulls. We're up against 25 fulls in our conference. But it's going to continue to change as departments navigate having to give out a lot more money than they necessarily bring in. So we don't know what those numbers will look like moving forward. This past year, we were not at 25. So our players we'll have players that have everything covered, but won't necessarily be on the same scholarship as a football player or a women's basketball player.
So how do their grade points compare to these other sports?
Our athletes are very bright. I think our team GPA this past fall was a 3.6. I think our cumulative GPA is between a 3.4 and 3.5. Yeah, so our players do a really good job. They're here for their degrees. We're starting to expand our professional opportunities in softball. And I think that's really exciting. We just had Brie Ellis, our National Player of the Year, played in the first year of our new structured professional league here in the States called AUSL. And they just expanded to 2 more teams and 2 more sites. So I think we're more optimistic than we've ever been for a professional league to really take shape here. Until that happens and they can make millions, they are going to, they need to, get their degrees and they're going to take on a different professional path. So, yes.
Home run ball, all the different stadiums that you're in, does that vary a lot as far as your home as versus on the road?
Does the home run ball the fence step distance? It doesn't vary by much more than like maybe 10 feet. And so if you were to build a stadium right now, your fences would have to be 200 feet down the lines. Ours are 200 down the lines, 220 in center. And so it varies a little bit, but nothing really, really major. However, we played last year in our opening tournament and it was 190 down the lines and 200 in center, and that plays a lot more shallow. I'm the pitching coach, so
What's your average pitching?
I'm sorry?
Pitching speed.
Pitching speed. Average pitching speed. Oh, shoot. On our team, we have 2 freshmen that throw 68 to 70. Our one of our freshmen hits 71 here and there. 71 would be the equivalent to upper 90s in baseball. We're at around 100. And our lefty throws about 67, 68. Our sophomore pitcher returning, she throws between 65 and 69. So they can bring it in there. And usually, like I think the biggest difference for people that are obviously more familiar with baseball is just in softball, pitchers can break the ball every way. So we have you can rise the ball, like we have rise in our game, we have drop, we can go curve, screw, we have the ability to throw a few different speeds. And they throw from 43 feet. So the reaction time, like I just said, is really close to 100 miles an hour in baseball. But you're defending every angle. So it makes it pretty difficult. I look at it now, like I played a while ago now. I look at it now, being removed and a mom and like all those things. I'm like, how do they hit that? How do they do that? But if you give these athletes a chance, they're going to get you. They're remarkable. They're in their athleticism. We were just talking about the differences between baseball and softball. And softball, you can watch an entire game in about 2 hours. You can sit really close. The thing that I think Bogle is our stadium's the best atmosphere in college softball is because we have an outfield berm, and so our fans can literally sit on the outfield fence, and we have this like surround sound feel and surround sound atmosphere that we create, and our fans are incredible. But you feel the players. Our players have really big personalities. They have a lot of passion, and it's like you get to know them by playing because you're so close to their emotions and their feelings and their commitment and their all those things. You can feel it in everything that they do. And so I'm for those that haven't given us a chance, please show up. I think you're gonna love it, fall in love with it.
On tickets, I don't pay the game field.
Yeah, I believe you can walk up and there are some tickets available. Our season tickets the last few years have sold out. I think that we have a few more still available, and then typically you can walk up and still get a ticket. I think they reserve some for that. Yes.
I'm both a Razorback fan and a University of Oklahoma fan.
Who invited you in here?
I don't think a lot of people don't understand where OU stands in the softball.
Yes.
Were you happy or unhappy?
That's a loaded question. I know what you're going to ask.
When OU came into the SEC.
I think that we're all competitors. And so I think that's the thing of choosing to play in the SEC or choosing to coach in the SEC. You're choosing to line it up against the best every weekend. And I'm not sure there is an equivalent when you really dive in the numbers in how strong the SEC is in softball. I think the only other equivalent would be baseball, but SEC softball compared to other conferences and other teams is even stronger than, well, which we're learning anyway, in football or a lot of those, men's basketball, all of our teams in the conference are in the top 25 RPI. So every weekend we're lining it up against the best. So when we expanded to Oklahoma and Texas, we only brought in number 1 and number 2 in the country. That's it. And I think obviously it continues to change it. It continues to just raise the level of play. Do we love it? Yeah. I mean, we signed on to play and coach in the SEC, and it demands your best. Oklahoma softball. I was a GA at Oklahoma. That's where I started. So after I played in Japan, my mom was always a really big believer of using softball to get everything you can. So, and for my sister and myself, it was like, you will get your master's. Like that was, if you meet my mom, there's no negotiating. It's happening. And so when I was done playing in Japan, I went and was a GA at Oklahoma for 2 seasons. And where they are as a sport, I'm not sure there's an equivalent in another sport. They've won, help me, Scooter. They've won 5 of the last 6 national championships, maybe 5 of the last 7. They have completely created a juggernaut in college softball. Last year was a down year, a rebuilding year, and they finished 3rd. And Texas finished 1st. And so it just continued to raise the level of what we signed on for anyway. We're competitive people, and so we want to play and line it up against the best.
I'll root for you this year.
Thanks. Yes.
How were you recruited to be the coach at Arkansas?
Well, previous to coming here, I was the head coach for 1 year at the University of Maryland. And it's interesting because Arkansas softball they just had never really taken off. And I was aware of SEC softball, but I'm a Pac-10er, so I'm going to date myself even more. I'm saying Pac-10 before it became the Pac-12, before it disintegrated, before they put it back together and all those things. And so SEC softball has really taken off in the last, I would say 15 or so years. So you always tracked it and you always kind of wondered, like, what's going on with Arkansas? And I actually had a good friend that I met at Oklahoma. He was in the sports information department when I was working with softball. And then he was on our extramural team here. He doesn't work here anymore, and so I always kind of would connect with him and just kind of track Arkansas, wondering, why haven't they gotten it, And I was at the University of Maryland for 1 year. My husband would say we were there for 10 months. We got married, and on a Saturday, we packed our house and moved to Maryland. I was offered the job to become the head coach at Maryland the week of our wedding. And we accepted the position, got married on Saturday, packed up our house, and drove to Maryland on Monday. And we were there for 10 months and got the call from Arkansas. And I am pretty sure, if you've heard me talk about this experience or the experience of getting hired, I'm pretty sure I was like their 57th choice. I don't know. I don't know what I was. I was down the line. But I do know I was the right choice. And we were a really good fit for each other. Do I know why they decided to put me, a 1-year head coach from Maryland, on their list? I don't. They saw something in me that just I am happy about. Obviously, I get so mad at myself because as you're coaching young women, all you want them to do is know their value and know their strength and choose that. Like, choose to see their strength in things. And so I'm so mad at myself because when I first got that call of and it was from my friend of, hey, we're looking for a new head coach. And he had picked my brain about some other people along the way. And I think ultimately he was just checking my connection and my network and who I was as a coach. And he said, you're on our list. And my initial reaction was, what? Why? And I'm so mad at myself because I would shake my team, not really, but I would shake anybody on my team if that was their response to getting a call like that. And I stayed in the process. I was more concerned in getting that call of what my husband was going to say because 10 minutes or 10 months prior, we had just moved our life out there. We were pregnant with our oldest. I walked in and to the house, I got the call in our driveway and I walked into our house and I just said, I just got a call from Arkansas and they said I'm on their list for their next head coach. What do you think about that? And without hesitation, and this is why I know I have an amazing partner, he said, I think let's go for it. It was not a hesitation. He said, let's do it. And Arkansas, I went through the process, did a lot of different phone interviews, a lot of different people came on an interview. I was on my interview, was 6.5 months pregnant. And it was very obvious. And they took a chance on me and it worked out for both of us. But I had my first team meeting and 2 weeks later had Trip, my oldest. So met with the team and said 2 weeks I'm having a baby and our players have helped raise my boys. And so if you ever come to Vogel, you're going to see a lot of little boys running around. It's the most amazing thing. I have 2 boys. My top assistant, Matt Michael, has 2 boys. My hitting coach has a boy and then just had the first girl in the program. So our grounds guy has a little boy. Our athletic trainer has a little boy. Our director of ops is due any day with a little boy. And so it just seemed like a rite of passage that you had to have little boys. And so I will tell you one quick story too, because this is again why I know I have the right partner in my husband Joe, but also the importance of our boys getting raised by these really strong females is we have an old Wii system. So it's an old video game in our house. We don't have a lot of video games, and we have an old Wii system. And my oldest is a sports geek. So he loves sports. He knows every player of every roster on every professional team. He knows all the Razorbacks. He knows everything. Okay. He loves it. He's just now getting into baseball, football cards, which I don't, it blows my mind. Anyway, he was playing an old video game on the Wii and it was like a baseball all-star game. And Derek Jeter was on it. And Derek Jeter is retired before Tripp was really getting into sports. And at the time, we had a shortstop from Paragould, Arkansas, Braxton Burnside, an All-American. And she was the home run. She had the home run record until Bree beat it or out hit it this year. And Derek Jeter comes out on the video game, and Tripp goes, "Dad, who's Derek Jeter?" Which what? And my husband goes, "Well, Derek Jeter is a Hall of Fame shortstop for the Yankees. Like he's one of the best to ever do it." And my oldest, Tripp, at the time looked at Joe and said, "Oh, so like Braxton?" And Joe goes, "Yeah, exactly like Braxton." And that's just a moment that I still get chills thinking about, because when they think about the best athletes, the strongest athletes they know, they think about our players, and it's pretty amazing. So
Thank you.
thank you.
So this is a special privilege to get to give you a gift from our club. A rampaging Razorback on a rotary wheel, hog on a cog for short, for you to put at your desk in your office. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Thank you.
And then I'll send Emily. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
That's
And you'll love this. Before I adjourn the meeting, I was over here on the side talking to Emily. We're going to schedule a Rotary night at Bogle Field. We'll let you know what night that's going to be, and we'll reserve seats, and we'll have a good time with that. Yes? Then with that, this meeting is adjourned.